I have never really recorded, but I'm going to really start doing this as God is leading me to just do more and more of His work and His will. I just want to start off by titling this particular one God's Position Light. And so, as many of you know, there's a lot of darkness going around. There's a lot of people talking about the incidents in Virginia. There's a lot dealing with the presidency. There's a lot dealing with just job markets and Affordable Care Act. There's just a lot going on. And so I just hear God saying that um, He's already positioned His people. I hear God saying that as much as happening in the world with the elections and the hatred and the crime, as much as happening, He's doing double to position His light around that. So I hear God saying that He's positioned light in every single dark situation, whether it's a city, whether it's inside the states, whether it's inside the capital, whether it's inside your jobs, whether it's inside your churches or your community. He's positioning light within those situations. And what I mean by light is He's calling out His non-traditional people, the least of these, to come forth to bring His word of peace. I was reading a scripture and it was in Luke chapter 6, verse 45. And it read, the intrinsically good man produces what is good and honorable and moral out of the good treasure stored in his heart. And the intrinsically evil man produces what is wicked and depraved out of the evil in his heart. For his mouth speaks from the overflow of his heart. And so, what that was saying and speaking to me is that out of a man's mouth are the issues of his heart, are those thoughts, those feelings that he has. Now, one thing I know when it comes to let's let logic meet spiritual, as we know, spiritual can never really, logic can never trump spiritual things that are happening within the world. But one thing I know is that almost like that saying, what goes up must come down, and what is buried within, it has to burst out. And so I hear God saying that the things that are buried within a man's heart, the things that he thinks, the things that he's experiencing, the things that he feels about his neighbors or his family members, whether that's racism, whether that is hatred for women, or whether that is homosexuality or gender identity or transgender, whatever those cases are, whatever is in your heart, I hear God saying it's coming up now. I hear God saying that He's bringing forth all these things because everything that needs, whatever is hidden in that needs to come up, has to come up. If it doesn't come up, then we can't resolve it. We can't solve it. Because think about it, if it's hidden in your heart and you walk around with the anger, then you're just liable to burst. And that's what's happening here. We have a lot of these people bursting because of the anger and the hatred and the questioning and the fear that's sitting in their heart. But I hear God saying that this is all part of what I'm calling out for things to do. I'm calling out for the issues of a man's heart that are not of him to come out. And every time they come out, then we're able to face them. We're able to solve them. We're able to to have it where we're going to work on what this issue is. But I hear him saying, but don't worry, because I'm placing my light in all of these places. I'm calling out the righteous man. I'm calling out the ones who think good and have good intentions in their heart to overcome that. Think about the context of walking into a dark room. When you walk into a dark room, the 100 light watts or the 60 light watts or the 70 watts lights up everything, and I'm able to see the details of the room. And so that's what's happening. We're entering all these dark particular areas, and as we turn on the light, we're actually able to see the details of what the television looks like, or the details of what the the mirror looks like, and the symmetrics that are there. But if I keep my lights off, then I can't see what angle I am from this and how much I have left for it to do. So I hear God saying that I'm calling out all of the light in his world, and I'm placing those people in works. I'm placing those people in communities. I'm placing the least of these people into schools. I'm placing them into Congress office. And I'm placing them into the streets of the president. And I'm placing my lights around because I all of my things have to come out. All of the issues that are happening within the person's heart that they're burying in cannot sit any longer. So I hear God saying he must expose these things. But don't worry because he's calling out the light. So I just challenge someone and I encourage someone to look at this in a different area. Don't look at it with the hatred and the anger in your heart, but look and see if you are the least of these. If you are the light that God is calling out to do something differently, whether that is prayer, whether that is a conference about unity, whether that is education, whether that is movements for legislation to Congress, whether that is now birthing out the gifts that are in you that can actually promote the unity. I hear God saying that there are a lot of gifts that people are sitting on because they're afraid that they don't have the money to start businesses, or there's a lot of gifts that they're sitting on because they don't have the education that people have usually if they are running for Congress, or the education that people have if they are to be the leaders of their community. I hear God saying you're sitting on your gifts, and he's calling out all these lights, all these people that they would have never thought would have been who he thought, who people thought would be. He's calling out those single moms and those married, those divorced parents, and he's calling out his his ones that barely made it from out of school, and he's calling out the ones with the tattoos and the ear piercings, and the ones who have stepped out of homosexuality. He's calling out all those people that everyone has overlooked, that are sitting on their gifts of all races, all sizes, all colors. And he's asking you to be the light. And so I'm calling out on this day, on August 15th, 2017, that unless our light overpowers our darkness, then we will continue to go in days and months and years of what we're seeing in cities and states of that are birthing that are having so much hatred. So I'm challenging and I'm encouraging everyone to seek up to our Creator, seek inside, search your heart. There's a scripture that says, "Search my heart, Lord, and see if there is any wicked ways in me, and see if there's any thoughts that are not pleasing to you, and make my ways everlasting." And what that says is, I'm asking God, look into me. Look into me and see if there's things that are not clean, that are not pure, that are not of your way, God. Any thoughts, any feelings that I may have, and God, dig them up. Anything that's not leading into your everlasting will, God, remove it. And so I'm challenging everyone to say that prayer in songs and to search within your heart, because God needs all of our gifts. God needs all of our hands, and God needs all of our lights to actually bring forth the unity and change that this country needs. And so I challenge you all. I challenge you to look for your gifts. I challenge you to take those steps out to start those businesses that will promote more unity in the community, that will bring more education in school systems and for your families. I challenge those who are sitting on ideas for women, for men, for schools, for children, for anything, for health. I challenge you to come forth and actually begin being the light that is needed. Hate does not drown out hate, just like darkness does not overpower light. Even if you don't believe in God, science, negative and positives do not even click. So I'm challenging you to stop sitting on your gifts and recognize you are the light.